Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the IE Media podcast. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are around the world, whether you're watching this or listening on one of the various streaming platforms out there that this show is available on. Thank you so much. Your comments and support is always appreciated. So today I'm joined by the third time by my good friend Adam, who's back up to be on the podcast, and he's got some exciting updates, stuff he's been up to. And of course, we are going to get into a general rant again about the state of things after the clips from the last podcast that we put out there got some good traction and people are enjoying them. So definitely more of that today. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the IE Media Podcast.
Adam, welcome back to the show, man. How's it going?
Thanks for having me. Good.
Excellent. Good. What have you been up to since we last spoke?
Well, a lot of work, really. A lot of work. I've tried to somewhat blank what's going on in the world a little bit so I can have some sense of normality and, you know, not be concentrating on the negative all the time. But, yeah, on the whole, just been enjoying life, to be honest.
And I also believe that you lived out one of your dreams over the last few days.
Yeah, so one of my all-time dreams was to fly a Spitfire, and my girlfriend made that a reality, and that happened on Friday, just gone.
That's absolutely amazing. We were talking briefly before about it as well. And I will put the pictures up overlaid over this footage here as we're speaking. But apparently there's some history to this Spitfire as well.
Yeah, so the Spitfire I got a chance to fly was the plane that shot down the first enemy fighter on the D-Day landings.
Wow.
And I think it flew something like 180 combat missions in World War II.
Wow.
So, and then it's been looked after. It was converted into a two-seater trainer plane, so literally the front cockpit and there's another cockpit in the back, identical. So all the same controls, feet pedals, the stick, throttle, everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, on Friday I got a chance to go up in it.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So yeah.
So what was it like when you took over the controls?
To be honest, I sat in it and I'm like, Jesus, this is, and it's old. It's all original. Everything in there's from the 1930s, 1940s. And you're sitting and you're like, is this thing even going to fly?
Yeah.
And like, start up the engine, like, and it is so loud. It is unbelievable. So loud. And the whole thing just shakes. While the engine's on tick over, the whole plane just feels like it's going to shake to bits.
Doesn't feel safe.
Does not feel safe, and he is such tight, confined space. Because obviously it is basically the fighter plane of the 1940s. It was the pinnacle.
Yeah, I'll put the pictures of that, of you in the cockpit up here.
Taxiing down to the bottom of the runway, and it was, to be honest, I was quite nervous. I was like, this ain't right. This is really going to hold together. And then put the throttle up a little bit to get going, like literally up to half power to take off in that, and the thing just takes it. To look at it on the ground from the side, it looks like it isn't going fast, but it accelerates like any car.
Yeah,
fast car. And then it's all really, really bouncy and bumpy down the. You're thinking, Jesus Christ, this is gonna fucking crash.
Jeez.
And then all of a sudden you got to a certain speed, and it was just as soon as the wheels lifted off the floor, it was smooth as anything.
Really?
And literally you just go up and up and up. And we're only on half power at this point, trying to save the engine because obviously, you know, it's used a lot. So we were went up to about 4,000 feet. And then basically I took over.
Yeah.
So it let me fly around. So the airfield is only, I think, 15 miles from my house. So it let me take over. I could fly where I wanted within a 25-mile radius. And we flew over Kettering, to Rothwell, to Desborough, and then to the workshop where I work with all the lads waiting outside.
No way.
Because the missus rang when I took off, and we all arranged it with the pilot that I could go there. And, yeah, we done a nice low flyby for the lads at work. It was absolutely phenomenal. And
that is awesome.
after, I let the proper pilot take over, and he showed me, what the plane can do, and like the loops, the victory rolls.
Loops?
Yeah.
Oh,
victory rolls. I've got video of that as well. I'll send you them.
Wow.
And
yeah. You're braver than me, I'll say that.
But it was absolutely, the G, it probably was only, 3G, I suppose, but it was absolutely insane.
Do you not feel sick or anything?
No, I didn't feel sick. I'm probably motorsport, I'm used to being thrown about a bit, but yeah, going up for the loop, and you just like literally forced into your seat as you're doing like 300 mile an hour.
Wow.
Going up and over, and it was absolutely unreal. I'll probably never get the chance to do it again, and it's always been a dream of mine, and I've done it. Yeah. But now I'm thinking, now what? It's, in a way, you sort of think, well, maybe I should never actually really get to do my dreams towards the end of your life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure you can think of some other stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But that
adrenaline junkie.
I mean, how many people get the chance to fly a Spitfire?
No.
It was unreal, and just looking out the cockpit and seeing the elliptical wings. Yeah, it's just iconic. And when I landed, I actually cried because I was that happy and that overwhelmed by it all. Yeah. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I had to wait. Got the present, when did I get the present? Last August. And I had to wait till now to do it. So I was that long waiting.
Wow, in suspense. Yeah. No way. Could you see yourself being a pilot from 100%.
This? 100%. I've always enjoyed flying. But, sort of doing that job, flying them sort of planes would be unreal. Yeah.
Oh, big shout to your missus then for sorting that. It's awesome.
I can't knock. She's a good one, mate. She's a good one.
Yeah. You've said pretty much she's the one, and you're happy. I'm happy for you. Happy for you guys, definitely. Yeah. To shout me on the big day.
I'm sure we will.
So since the last podcast we did, we've had a few little clips doing the rounds. Predominantly about the state of things, cost of living, corruption. Yeah. And I'm sure we've got plenty to get into on that as well. Yeah. So last time I was on, I was talking about the cost of living crisis and what the banks were doing, interest rates. And I'm still the same idea. It is going to be a slow burn, wiping out people's savings through the cost of living, the price of things going up, inflation. So now I think what they'll do is they raised interest rates, which slowed the economy right down. Yeah. It's practically in recession at the minute. Although, a lot of industries are booming still. Yeah. But the smaller industries are struggling. And so what I think they'll do now is they'll lower interest rates just to keep it teetering. So people aren't giving up. They're probably putting their savings in to keep things going. Yeah. Dangling the carrot. Making sure people don't just throw the towel in, basically. Yeah. And what that'll do but that will make inflation go through the roof again. So, and then what they'll have to do again is raise interest rates, and it will slow it down again. And I think this is pretty much the path they're going to go. Yeah. Until about 2030, really. And I think we'll be in a real bad depression by the end of that. But like I said before, it is going to be a peaks and troughs all the way to the bottom. But they'll delete people's wealth through inflation. Yeah. So of course you've got the government now saying, "Oh, look how much of a good job we're doing. We're lowering the inflation rates, and by the end of the year it'll be lower." And people are just thinking, "Oh, well, that means that the prices start to go down and things will get easier." And it's not getting easier.
This is where people are like not really actually listening to what they're saying and actually hearing what they want to believe or what they want to think that's going to happen. I mean, like you said earlier, Richie Sunak reckons he'll get inflation under control and it'll be half by the end of the year. Yeah. Which that means, that doesn't mean if inflation's gone, that means things are going to be still,
We're still worse off.
Yeah, of course you are, because it's still inflation. It's just half what it should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're not getting anything any cheaper. It's still going up.
Yeah.
But people are thinking, things are going to start dropping in price in their head.
Since the last time I had you on, the price is skyrocketed.
Yeah.
For food is absolutely ridiculous now. It's getting harder and harder each week, and this energy thing. And
I mean, our electric bill at work went from £1,800 a month. No, £1,800 a quarter, sorry, to £2,000 a month.
Wow.
So, you know, luckily enough,
wiping out the smaller businesses.
Luckily enough, that's forced us to look at the way the workshops run, sort of tooling we use, stuff like that. And we've managed to get that bill down by buying new equipment, maybe not the right equipment we need, but what we can do the job with, like comfortably, and downsizing on things like compressors so we don't need as much air. You know what I mean? Just to keep the cost down.
Yeah, just to try and survive.
Thing is, people have done that already now. So when it goes up again, then what are they going to do?
Yeah.
They can't cut anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know where it leads. I mean, I know, like, my girlfriend's business. Yeah, she'll probably have 2 good weeks in a month. Yeah. But the other 2 weeks are dreadful. So, you know, at the minute, you probably break even, just over.
Yeah.
Just to keep you going. And I think that's how they want you, just about managing.
Yeah.
That's what they used to call them, the jams.
Jams?
Yeah, they nicknamed them jams, just about managing people.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, so...
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean...
Keep you sort of dependent as well, doesn't it, through, like, benefits to subsidise your wages if you're on low earnings. I mean, like, you know.
They definitely want people on... With these cost of living payments they're giving out to everybody, people are dependent on them now.
Yeah.
You know, and people who are not well off rely on that. So this is what they want. They want everybody. They want everybody on these cost of living payments, because then, like I said before, you never bite the hand that feeds you. You'll do whatever they say to keep that payment, if you need that payment. But they want you to. They're going to get you to the point where you can't rely on. You can't exist without it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I watched this guy, New York Tracks jeweler, some jeweler guy. He does a lot of videos, little clips go viral and stuff. And he was showing you like a big stack of cash, and he was saying about explaining inflation. Yeah. And he was showing like at the top end, you've got like the top half of the money was sort of like the super rich, you know, like 1% who own a lot of assets and stuff. And then he was showing like the bottom stack of the money, how that's all like people trying to get on the property ladder and the first house, and you know, just sort of trying to get up there and that. And then it was showing like this inflation, and you inject loads of money into the middle, and all it's done is push the wealthier and the poorer down the chain. You know, so it's a big. I
mean, inflation is just the increase in the money supply. See, all of a sudden we had enough money to house everybody, all the homeless. We had enough money to give out all these loans willy-nilly to companies that just wanted the money. Yeah. You know, you did no background checks, just applied for it, got it, 52 grand, whatever you could get, maximum. You know, all that money being pumped into the economy, created that boom just after COVID.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the result of all that increased money supply in the economy, creating all the inflation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, definitely.
So,
just cause more problems, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been printing money constantly since the 2008 financial crisis to keep all these insolvent banks and businesses too big to fail afloat. And now that money is gradually being filtered down into everybody else, and especially with that big injection through COVID of cash to everybody. The inflation is, we could see hyperinflation in this country. It is that bad. They think like house prices are going up and down. Like the value of their house is going up. The value of their house is still exactly the same as the day it was built. It's just how much that money's worth you're buying it with. Yeah. So if your money's worth less, you need more of it to pay for the same value. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, this phone is still the same phone as the day it was made.
Yeah.
You know, to buy it now or to buy it 3 years ago, I need to spend probably twice as much money to buy the same thing.
Yeah.
That's because the money is worth half what it was. It's not because that has gone up in value.
Yeah, of course.
So and that's how it works. It is as simple as that. But they never want to tell you that. They want to make you feel like you're doing well. You're making money. You ain't making money. You're losing money with inflation because you're taking away your purchasing power.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Even our landlord who owns a few houses that he rents out and stuff, he said he's feeling it with the interest rates and he's struggling terribly. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the housing market is pretty much flatlined, I think, at the minute.
Yeah.
But you're seeing all these big building companies building all these houses. And I know around where I live, I live in quite a nice area. I mean, and this is probably going to sound a bit snobby, but I don't mean it to be, but these big housing estates where they're building 700-800 houses, just away from my town, they are half of them are being given to housing association.
Right.
So they're bringing all these people up from London, Luton, and they're putting them in these houses. And the crime rate has gone through the roof around where I have.
Is it?
Yeah. And the police want to do nothing. That's what they want to do. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's
They're more worried about catching someone doing fucking 3 mile an hour over the speed limit than someone going around breaking into people's houses, nicking motorbikes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think we see that's by design, in my opinion, to create more crime in quiet areas to justify increased police, which they know they're going to need because there will be civil unrest when things get too bad. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I can hope for the best at least and hope that enough people see sense and do something about it. Start to change things maybe from within, but maybe I'm just being naive.
I think you've probably been a bit too naive. I mean, they've got people so in a trance of look at the rich, look at the poor, look at these people on benefits, black, white, you know what I mean? They're pointing out every difference from every single person in society to keep us pointing the finger at each other rather than at the politicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then, as long as they keep us divided, they can just play the ref.
Yeah, they've played by that tactic for centuries, haven't they? Literally divide and conquer. Yeah,
and that is the easiest way. I mean, if we all just stuck together, said no, that's all we have to say, the word no. What could they do? Absolutely nothing.
Funny you should say that as well, and I'm going to try and overlay some footage that I found over this, and you'll see it when we watch this back, but it's showing that the demonstrations going on in France, there was actually an incident where some of the riot police and firemen actually joined the protesters, started marching with them, but we're not seeing anything on the mainstream media.
You'll never see that.
Plenty on TikTok, but it's crazy.
I remember
that's what they're scared of. Really.
Yeah, because the police are their barrier.
Absolutely.
That's their defence. That's it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the police need to remember, these people that are doing the protests, they're sticking up for your rights as well and your children's rights. By going to these protests and treating these protesters with no respect, disdain, beating them up for no reason because you think you're an hard man with a badge on when you ain't. Yeah. It's ridiculous because they are there sticking up for you and your rights.
Yeah.
And, you're literally creating the prison for yourself if you're a policeman doing that. So...
Well, it's the same with the nurses. I mean, not to say too many sensitive words here in this subject, but during the game, there was thousands of nurses and doctors that have gone out protesting against this mandatory thing where they said that if they don't have, they're going to lose their jobs and stuff. Yeah. And because enough of them stood up to it, they got overruled.
And all they said was no. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. They didn't even have to do anything. They just said no. That is the most powerful word in the English language. Yeah. And that's all you have to do is say no.
Just say no, kids.
Just say no. Just say no to government. That's it.
Yeah.